Okay. We are streaming this webinar to Facebook Live because it takes some time. So now we're doing the streaming. Then we'll start the webinar at 10. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome, everyone. Let me introduce myself first. Good morning, Dr. Alicia's. Let me introduce myself. I'm Li Wenxiang from Utah. Welcome to today's webinar, Immersive Technology for Heritage and Culture Preservation. If you have any question, please leave your question at the chat box. We are streaming this webinar live at e-KLESF Facebook also. Please help us to like and share this video. Welcome, everyone. Okay, morning, everyone. Okay, now I proceed to introduce our speakers today. There are two speakers, Dr. Aloysius Yap and Ms. Lim Chai Kim. Dr. Aloysius is currently an assistant professor in the Department of Game Studies, Faculty of Creative Industry, University Tunku Abdul Rahman, Utah. He is also the chairperson of Center for Immersive Technology and Creativity in Utah. Ms. Lim Chai Kim is currently a lecturer in the Department of Game Studies, Faculty of Creative Industry, Utah also. Okay, now without further ado, we will turn the time over to Dr. Aloysius and Ms. Lim Chai Kim. Hi, welcome Dr. Aloysius and Ms. Lim.
Hi, morning.
Dr. Aloysius, are you speaking? I can't hear you.
Yeah, can see the
Okay.
slide.
Can see the slide. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
thank you. Thank you, Ms. Lee, the MC for today. Okay, I'm Aloysius Yap, and also with my co-researcher, Ms. Lim Chai Kim here. Happy to have you guys with us today. So as the opening for our session today is, we would like to introduce to you, the topic is about the immersive technology for heritage and culture preservation, okay? And then overall, what we will try to share is for overview. So what you can see is we will try to talk about, later I'll try to introduce ourselves. Then you can see this, okay? This is, we are from Faculty of Creative Industry, okay? And also from Center of Immersive Technology and Creativity. So our job mostly is, we also teach in game department. So this is what I can briefly share with you. So you can use the QR code to have a look, okay? If you want to try to scan it, then you can see our biodata and also our background or anything. You can use that information to communicate with us after this session. Yeah. Okay, a little bit slow, the slide. I don't know. Okay, so then later on we'll talk about our center, so CITC. And then also I'll try to briefly share a little bit about what is VR or virtual reality. And then there's another section we talk about the Ngasu, the hunting game, which is also included our new latest creation. It's a 3D virtual guide walkthrough, the VGW, and also the game. Then after that, we also try to share a little bit about our activities, also news from the media. Then please stay until last for this particular session because we will have a demo. So we would like to invite all you guys to witness our latest outcome for research. And after is for sure is our Q&A. Yeah. Okay. So CITC, this is a center which we have 32 centers in research center. This is one of the center, which we are mostly talking about culture and heritage preservation. And then also that we also collaborate with different departments. And we have a walkthrough for Iban Long House. We have a BR walkthrough for Malay House. We also get involved with this V-tourism solution. We'll try to come up with some solution for them. And we call virtual tourism, but we call it as a V-tourism. Then also we have the virtual guided walkthrough. We also try to involve in a 360 panoramic project. Also, we try to involve in this virtual education, what we call the V education, for the AR for education and AR for medical sciences studies. And also, we have some potential collaboration project with this virtual lab, okay, virtual clinic, and also virtual operating theater. Hopefully, we can deliver it in future. And okay, our immersive technology project. This is one of the project we used to deliver, and then also bring us some frame. Okay, and then this is the Malay House, the second one. This is the VR New Village, and this is the VR Amber. Okay, Amber Hall. So this we try to collaborate with industry player. Okay. And then this is a project later on. We hope you will be with us until the last for this particular today sharing. That is about the traditional Iban Long House. Okay, and inside there we have some games, and then you guys can have a look. Yeah. Okay. Now we try to talk about a little bit here and there about VR. Okay. Do you like VR? This is a very important question at this moment. Okay. So what is the purpose of virtual reality? Okay. Virtual reality technology used, okay, to create the immersive experiences that can help to educate and also like even entertain the consumer outside of its popular gaming use case, like virtual reality. Okay, so the virtual reality is one of the technology with the highest projected potential growth. According to the latest forecast from IDC 2018, you can see that the big investment in VR and also AR will multiply the 21.4 over the next 4 years, so reaching 15.5 billion euros by 2022. So you can see it's a very big industry going on. Okay, so why we talk about virtual reality here is because later we will try to deal with you guys about VR. Okay. So VR, what you guys know is mostly, okay, is they involved in gaming, okay, gaming. So for gaming, they engage with a lot of technology, which they use a lot of immersive technology. Like for example, VR, one of the very important one. Okay. No, the so slow. Yeah. I don't know. And then also you must remember that we all this. Why the slide thing? I don't know. Okay, and then the VR for gaming. You must imagine when you try to use the VR technology, you are into the games. Like for example, chasing, running, fighting, flying in the virtual environment with VR technology support. Okay, this is what you want. This is what you want actually. And then you want this type of feeling. Only you try to engage with this type of technology. And then whatever we in VR, we talk about user experience. Okay, what is user experience? Basically we want to have that type of experience so that we can educate, we can do edutainment process. I mean to say there's a entertainment and also education together. This is one of our focus. Okay, add on one more point that why we need to have this immersiveness. For example, you imagine when you try to involve with your studies or like in the school, you know, like for example, in the classroom, you are in the virtual reality platform. You can imagine whatever the lecturer or teachers have shared with you running, and then whatever you can feel, you also can fly here and there. If you use to experience Second Life, then you know what I mean with this, okay? Okay, learning through gaming experience, how cool is it, isn't it? For example, in your classroom, or you have all these devices. So maybe you don't have to travel because of, like, for example, now you can experience for a few months that we are in a pandemic. So now you can see this is very important that it can help you. It can help you to be like more immersive in your study instead of like you have to travel. That's why you can see the another slide here is like, you think about this, like the normal traveling from home to school or trapped in the traffic or city traffic in a long journey. How cool is it, isn't it, if you use a VR? Okay, everything within the finger touch only, okay? The enter button, you enter, then you are in, okay? So, okay, now we come back to the point which I want to share with you. Okay, the project we will try to share with you until the end of this session is about the Iban Longhouse project. We started this project with a level 1, level 2, and level 3. Okay, my team with me, we already travel, they already be with me venture in this project since 2013. Okay, the project which we will talk about is somewhere nearby the map here. I'm sure if somebody they are not from Malaysia, okay, this is our major map. And then now we are here. Okay, look at my mouse. We are here. Then after that, now our project is in the another side. Yeah. So now, okay, our project, we need to have data collection, and then we need to have asset construction, prototype development, and also like this is our main phases of our research methodology. Yeah. Don't know. Okay, the framework. Basically, you need to understand that when we try to do something, we are from research center. So when we want to do the project, we are not like just simply just dump in our resources and then we just do something. But we need to have all this. The first thing we need to have is a literature review. We need to say we need to study a lot. We need to refer to different articles, research online or like physical. We need to do the review. And after that, we also have the visual review. We need to see what is already being conducted, what is already you can find in social media or in another platform. And then the audio visual collection is also very important. They need to understand the entire environment through the audio and also like the visual. Visual, we are trying to send the team. Later on, I'll share a little bit here and there, then how we try to go for the field work. Okay, ground work means that the whole team had to go to the research area. Okay, then we had to cover to that area. Then after that, we can collect the actual data which is needed. Okay, preparation of digital data archiving system means that everything we had to put inside the system. Later on, we will try to go through this one stage by stage to let you know. And after we need to analyze the data, what is the data is needed, you know, like for example, the audio and the visual and all those writing and sketches also later you'll see. Okay, documentation and filing, for sure this is very important. And then you need to have that data archiving system to help you to do this documentation process. Now after that, only we move into the production stage, the asset construction, the 3D models, and also like texture construction, audio construction, and also UI, user interface construction, and visual, the virtual composition. Now after that, the last stage is you have to do, what you have to do is you have to come out with a prototype. It's the prototype development. So later on you will see this our prototype. The prototype we are trying to put all the things together where we have been collected for years. And then also we had to do coding. For example, we had the programming part where the programming cluster. Okay, they will try to help us to do all this. And the VEV is a virtual environment. The virtual environments are assets and setting. And then the first rundown, we need to do the test. And after that, the test, we can see anything is not right. Then we have to do the debugging. Okay, debugging is one very important process in this, what we call the post-production process. Compilation, we need to compile all the things together. Okay. Now after the final output, after the output cut out, we need to do the final test and some more. Okay. Okay, and then when after that we had to go for the science, engineering, and technology showcase. So for example, like e-KLESF this year, because we cannot go for the physical showcase, that's why we do webinar. So we hope we can deliver this to you guys through online platform. Now after that is a publication. Yeah. Okay, so this is a field work. Okay, this is one of the team which they follow me. Okay, I brought them to my hometown. So the project also I'm mentioning that we are trying to do this project somewhere nearby the Saribas district. You're very familiar with our division in Sarawak. Okay, there is the Betong, the capital of that particular district is Betong. So we went there, and then this is the resident. This is the Mr. Resident, Dr. Rumi. So the team actually consists of Mr. Goh Kiang Kwan, Mr. Nguyen Ms. Minju, Ms. Chong Hui Ting, Ms. Lin Chai Kim, and me myself, Aloysius Yap. Okay. The 5 of us we send there. Luckily, we have the internal funding from Utah to allow us to send the team to do the data collection. Okay, like whatever I try to share with my members and also my team members is we always have to refer to the rivers especially because the rivers is just very important in Sarawak. Everybody know that it's like homeland of rivers. It is a lot of rivers. Okay, the big batang and this and that. So we have to go to that area to do this. So they need to get inspiration from because nature always have very attractive and unique and also well taught. So either it's aesthetic or functional inspiration. They need to understand the concept first. Okay, dog paddy and also pepper farm. Okay, so they also have to understand somewhere about all this environment. They need to be very familiar with before they want to engage with the process. They need to understand we need to visit this type of places. Okay, you must remember the 5 of them only not more than 20%. They used to be with Actually, they never been in Sarawak before. Okay, you imagine these people, they are from city. Okay, now they have to travel to the area like this. Okay, so you will see a lot interesting part later on. Okay, so they have to go. Everybody know this is a traditional longhouse if you're from Sarawak. Okay, if you don't know, then that's the first time I exposed to you. This is a longhouse, the traditional longhouse. I hope the longhouse still be around there. After I'm getting all this data, I hope they're still there because you know why? Because urbanization is very, very fast in our rural area in Sarawak. Okay, so this is the second types of longhouse you can get without the zinc. And then this is also one of the very important sites that we visited, and then we tried to collect our we try to collect our data. Okay, why we need to have the staircase? The staircase is because when my members they involved in my research, also they need to understand that all these things they have the functionality. Okay. So with the functionality, then only they know why they need to put the thing here and there. Because they don't, you have to imagine the team, they need to develop a virtual environment, okay? Virtual environment. So once they develop the virtual environment, they need to understand why they need to put the asset there, okay? Because of every single thing in virtual environment, you need to be very, very particular. You need to have computer to compute. So that's why you need to have a very, very serious understanding about each of the assets, why you need to put the asset in that particular virtual environment. So how you get the asset ideas is you need to go to the real area, what we call the real environment, RE, okay? To be able to convert the RE, real environment, to become the virtual environment asset, or we call VE, so they need to go to the area by themselves, and then they need to dig out all the data which is needed by themselves. And again. Okay, interior. Trust me or not, they are not trying to put the thing for us so that we can go to visit. You can see the shoes nicely put here and there. It's not like they give it to us, you know. It's not like it's not look like what you think. We do spot check, you know. We don't want them to pretend that this is how they look like. We just go there. We just ask the members of us from Sarawak, from my area there, to bring me there and then to have a look. Okay, this is how it look like. Okay, and then we want our team to have a look. How exactly is the longhouse look like? We don't want them to do setting for us. We want to see the real longhouse. Huh? Okay, so chicken. This is one of the very important studies for all my members. I like to share with them. I like to share with my students also my members in my research center. Why I need to show them this? Okay, this is a very unique scene. Okay, very scenic in our hometown. Okay, in somewhere in Cebu also you can see this. Why they need to do this? Because this hand, or if you never wrap it by using the newspaper, they'll create havoc. Okay, but once you wrap it, then the hand will be like in the very orderly fashion. Okay, very quiet. And then this is one of the way how wise is the local people try to use a very cheap material or very, very affordable material to create something which have a very good functionality. So this is one of the concepts also I need to deliver to my members. Okay, so now they are doing the field work. You can see my members, they already went to the research area. So they need to touch and they need to feel, they need to smell, okay? But for sure in VR, we cannot have that smell, okay? But what we have to do is we need them to go around because mostly they are city boy and city girls, okay? this is the first time for them to visit house like that. So for them, they get very excited. Okay, very excited. They want to know more. Okay. Then after that, they have to cross the river some more. They have to cross the river. Then why they had to cross the river? River crossing is very important in our studies because we have to create in BE or in the virtual environment, we need to create the user interface. Okay. So the developer itself and also the designer, they need to understand, they need to discover the experience. Okay. So, but you must remember, once they cross the river, there were danger and challenges. What are they? Okay. What are they? This is the one. Okay. Crocodile. Okay. Okay. In West Malaysia, okay, you guys can see cow crossing. Okay? You guys can see a lot of things. For example, I went to Kuala Pedas side, you can see the tapir crossing. But in Sarawak, okay, crocodile crossing the river. Okay? If you're from Sarawak, you know this better. Okay? But the time when they went down to the ground to do the walk, I don't dare to share with them. But then you can see this is the threat. Okay, this is the danger which they had to face. But I cannot share with them during that time because I don't have time to share with them. But they are very excited. But I have to be aware because I know there's some certain thing be around there. Okay, so this is also the threat which I always very worried about my members that okay. Then after that, my members had to go up to the beach and then they don't dare to cross the river anymore. So this is a suspension bridge also somewhere they had to learn how to cross that because they need to understand the UI also. Later on they have to create the UI. Okay, so then after that they bring all the data back to our studio. So from our studio, then after that they have to do sketches. So when they do the sketches, then we have to discuss. The design team and the development team had to be together to discuss how we try to develop this. So then the artists, from the creative department or creative cluster, they have to do all these sketches and that, then give some inspiration to those like production team. The team will try to build all the 3D. So also they have to come with the colors, okay, within the color, and then they can see okay what they have to do, the color mood, and then the interior side. So you also can see the interior, and then this is also the other one. Okay, and then the artist inspiration is very important also, so that they can have a better understanding about what's going on actually. Okay. Okay, so this is the interior. Okay, so this is the digital content archive. So like I used to brief you at the beginning. So after we gather all the information, okay, after we have all these things, and then we need to put it in the system we call the digital archiving. So that because we are from our team had to go to Sarawak, and another team they are in Selangor. So how the Selangor people can try to collaborate with us is this is how we do. We put all the thing in the digital archiving. So the people from there they can sort out. For example, they want tree, then they can type the tree, then they can go in to take all the information. Okay, then the CGI team they have to come up with all this support. So they have to come with like observe the real side. One of the leader actually he followed me to our research area. So he has to come with all this, the 5-man purchase. Now that he had to reanalyze the structure and also the form through the drawings and sketches, and then capture the texture image from the rear side by using all the DSLR and also all the font and however you guys can reach, so to collect the data and then refine the texture and through the digital image processing. So a lot of the texture they have to get it in the rear side. Okay. Now they bring back to studio, only they try to process it. Yeah. Then the experiment on the methodology of 3D modeling. So they need to put all the D in the 3D modeling software so that only we know that whether it can work or not. Okay, but run away again. Okay, so this is the 3D, how we use the Maya and 3D Max. Sometimes now we are trying to use a Blender also to support all this. So they have to experiment it because this is the first time. This is the first time you must remember. First time we try to develop this. And then since 2013, 2014 until now, we are trying to solve a lot of technical difficulty. Okay, because a lot of elements we want to put by our own. We want to own the entire 100% novelty. Okay, the originality we want. Okay. Then after that, we use the Unity engine from games studies. Okay, we use this to help us to do all this like walkthrough. And then our thoughts. No, sorry. Why you run away again? Okay. And then after that, we also come with our own book. Okay, we also have our own book. And then by that project actually by Wirawani, Muhammad Khairuz, Chong Hui Ting, Ng Kenji, Yong Go Kian Kwan, and Jakim, and also me. So we try to documentize it. So we want to have that data for us to proceed for the future project, for the future project. That's why we need to documentize it. So the better way for us to do it during that time is we come with the book. Now after that, our thoughts. Why we do research is in reconstructing rare or disappearing items and also the culture from my homeland. Birthday is my hometown actually. Has led me to believe that the virtual world is a cost-effective platform for preserving the things that will one day vanish from this earth. In designing something new, it is useful to learn from the past. This is one of our very main objective. Okay, so basically we need to have framework. The framework will come out after we produce everything. Then we realize that normally what we do is in technology, which is immersive technology, and also traditional approach. What I mean by traditional approach? We need to go there. Okay, we need to do groundwork. We need to use all the traditional approaches to help us to collect all the data. And after that, we need to study from nature. Okay, interiorly and also like exteriorly. Okay. And also we need to have humanities practice. We need to understand the practice, why they do that, why they do this, the ideology behind, also the religion behind. Now after that, the center, you can see when these three circle together, then the center is a product. So this is what we have. Yeah, from there we develop. We need to have very clear-minded what we are trying to develop. So we need to have the framework. So this is the framework. At last, we have this framework. So from here we develop. Okay, lest we forget. Why lest we forget? This is one of the thoughts I also check. Last time the longhouse it looked like this. Okay, last time the longhouse looked like this. Now after that, slowly the longhouse moved to become like modern. Okay, become like this. Okay, this if you are from Sarawak, you know a lot of longhouse because of our government very nice. They give a lot of they subsidize the longhouse to build to reconstruct their longhouse so to become like very nice and then they look like modern. You see like the interior also very different. Okay, now a lot of modern longhouses is already there, and especially this one. This one you can get from social media, very nice. This is from EB Pintu side, and then it becomes like 5-star hotel, 5-star hotel. Okay. So the technology, immersive technology, because of that, then we try to use the immersive technology to help us to develop. So this is the one. Please stay with me and also Ms. Lim until the end, so you can see the walkthrough. So later on you'll see how we walk through you. Okay. So from 2013, like what I've been shared, with level 1, this is our level 1, but we cannot go interior. We cannot go in. So level 2, we can go in with it. Level 3, we put some gamification inside there. We try to put Hantu Gambar. You know this very well. Hantu Gambar is one of the very important and also like very famous element, also like spirit in our hometown. So we try to do shooting game. We call Ngasu. Okay, next. Okay, 2019 to 2020. What is our level? Actually, what we are trying to engage with now is this 3D dimensional virtual guided walkthrough VGW. Thanks again for Utah funding that we allow us to try to proceed for our level, the new level. Why the new level? And then the new level is about there's one NPC, non-player characters come in. Few of them. So later on, please play with us until the end, and you can see the walkthrough. Okay, this project design team or the development team is this. Researcher is me, okay, Aloysius Yap, and also Mr. Chakim, and Mr. Gong Kiang Kwan, and also Mr. Hafiz, and also the Bong Mepen. We're mostly from game design, game development, and digital animation cluster or department. Okay, we also have the undergrad research schemes researcher. We also try to train our own students, okay, because some talented one, we want them to help us. So that we hope we can prolong this project, and then somebody can prolong our legacy. Yeah, by this Mr. Li Huiyam, Lo Jintao, Ming Hui, Tay Ken Yu, Yao Yu Fen. Mostly they are from Bachelor of Science, honors from game development study. Okay. In addition to our virtual environment, this is the project which consists of a non-player character, okay, NPC, who will act as a guide in the virtual reality walkthrough. Okay. The purpose of the NPC is very important because of to guide the user and the player on where to go next, or to prompt the user to do a certain action. Okay, the certificate is very simple only, but the virtual guide is very important so that the VR walkthrough user does feel lost. Then after that, the free roaming in a virtual environment. And then with a virtual guide, then the user can have someone to follow when walking through VE. But case is to be taken, okay, but not too annoying or too demanding. So we are trying to do all this study also, the behavior or the character Okay, therefore, a study is needed to learn the user behavior and also incorporate necessary the features in the guide. And then the objectives for that particular research is very simple. We want to develop a MPC, the 3D MPC, and also to overcome the technical difficulties, so adding the guide to the VE, and to develop a user-friendly guide in the VE. So why we got this type of concern? Because we are trying to develop some content. You know, the content belongs to ourselves. We want to claim the full novelty. Okay. That's why we need to overcome these technical difficulties. It's not like you can just cut and paste. You need to do certain things for them to corroborate and for computer to compute to allow your element to go in. So that one is developed by our Miss Lim department. Yeah. Okay, so we also have another framework you need to create for you to complete this particular project in 2019 to 2020. Because of pandemic, our project had to extend to 2021. Okay, within this year, 2020, this December. So that's why we can showcase you. We can showcase this project and during this particular webinar. So it's same thing. They had to do the RE visit, means the real environment visit, data collection. Same thing. They had to go down to the ground to collect all the data. But this time they already well prepared. They know there's certain thing in the river. So now they are very clever. They don't repeat that anymore. Okay, then after that, requirement preparation, then have to kind of blueprint, level design, what you have to do. Voiceover, this is voiceover. Okay, remember, based on the project we are trying to showcase you, it's a prototype. Okay, we hope this voiceover, one day we can try to work out with the serious studies about the Bahasa IBAN group members, so that we can try to polish up that. But this is just a prototype. Linguistic training, we are trying to give them some basic linguistic training, so that those URS they can catch up, then we can get some of the voice from them. Yeah. So I'm not yet. Okay. The 3D, then after go production, same thing, 3D mapping, then 3D modeling, then asset preparation, and then composition, implement of the design, then coding, okay, from the development side, okay, and then test and debugging. Then this round, we need to apply game AI. That's why later on you'll see when you come to the demo, we can see how this particular characters try to interact with the player. Yeah. And then the post-production, okay, the comparison of the data, finding outcome. Basically, we have to do presentation like what we try to do in the e-KLESF or e-KLESF or in colloquium or in conference. At the same time, we also do publication because we are from the research center. So basically, this is what we are doing. But we also try to do for IP and also copyright so that we can go for commercialization when the industry they need our service and needs our solution. Then this we also try to go through. Because in our university, we have one department for commercialization and also like the consultancy. That department will help us to run all this. Yeah. Okay, so this is one of the scenes have been captured that when we try to train the UIs how to do the voiceover and especially how to collect all the voice as a data for us to use it for our MPC. So this is the section which we had to do, that the audio manager, they had to manage the audio, they had to put in the particular system for them to be able to generate it when they want to use it for their MPC. So this is the scene which we are UIS with us, and this is the Miss Lim is in the scene. So she's the one who tried to monitor and also supervise in terms of all this particular practice, so the UIS can help us to complete it. So UIS try to present the outcome, and I'll try Miss Lim, also me, and also we try to sit in to help them to solve the technical issue and also some of the design problem. Yeah? Okay, so they have to present to us, and then we have a lot of discussion. And basically, what our practice with our student is we have a lot of sharing. You know, we always learn from both parties. Okay, the student learn from us, we learn from the student. So this is some of the things have been captured when they try to present to us. Okay, and then the new project what I will mention to from 2019 to 2020 is we try to get another assistant, which is from the student named Evelyn Lee. She's the one who tried to help us we designed this for her, and then we asked her to try to come out with this model. So we can engage her model to our new outcome. So it's the latest one. Please stay with us. You can see how it works. And then this is the first. Remember, this is the first characters we develop fully IBAN, and then with all the necessary things. For example, this is the one I need to share with you. Bunga Terong. So my hometown, you must remember, if there's a Sarawakian here, Selamat Siang. Okay. So from my hometown, especially, you know, we very particular about this Bunga Terong. Okay, but I don't have one. No worry. But now I want to share with you, Bunga Terong is one of the very important thing that for us, yeah, for us at the Iban in my area. So actually from this guy, the folklore is believed that there's a young man Gendup visited the rumah Antu Pantang. Okay, it's a ghost spirit. They tried to do the Pantang Panami, say the tattoo. After he ventured in the jungle, then after that, Gendup was approached by the host, of the home, which is Selang Pantang. So he was told that he was destined to be the first kind of his kind to introduce the tattooing to the Dayak. That means to say that Dayak is the overall for, like, for example, Iban, Bidayah, Kenya, Kayan, or all these tribe in Sarawak. Yeah? So this one, you can read the full articles from this fascinating history of Iban Padus from the Raya post by this Sarah J. Helms in December, on December 6th, okay, 2019. Yeah. Okay, so this is what you can see just on it. The old man which you are trying to study all this, and then you can see Bunga Torong is very, very significant for our people in Sarawak side, especially the Iban, okay, the Iban. And then my presentation, everything is about the Saribas Iban, okay. So maybe there's an Iban from the other side. Because every division we have our own the Iban, the Iban subgroup, and also the Ibans. So, but this one, for everything I share with you is mostly from the Saribas side, yeah. So now I would like to call upon this Miss Lim to present this to you guys, non-player character AI. Okay, please, Miss Lim.
Hello. Very good morning to everyone. So I'm Chai Kim. I would like to share a bit on the non-player character AI or artificial intelligence. Yeah. So the artificial intelligence is used for making some of the non-player characters more natural. For example, the Iban man. We have an Iban man in the longhouse. And then the kid that will try to look for the player. And there's also a cat that will move along some waypoints, and also some fish in the river. Next. This is the Iban man, who is also the virtual guide within the first house in the longhouse. Next. And this is the kid who is a bit shy, so he will sometimes look at the ground and not try to look at you. Next. And this is the cat. Next. And the fish. Next. The Iban man mechanism was first developed by a game development student named Yun Feng. And I would like to explain a bit about the characteristic of the Iban man using this state diagram. So initially, the Iban man will be in idle mode. And once the player enters the house, it will welcome the player and then goes back to idle mode. From idle mode, the Iban man can also seek the player if the player is within the house. It will walk towards the player, and once it has reached a certain distance from the player, it will go back to idle. And also it will explain objects to the player when the player shoots at a registered object. And lastly, he will bid farewell when the player leaves the house. Next. This is a bird's eye view of the first house of the longhouse where the Iban man will be. So we have limited the Iban man's navigation to the first longhouse. Later on, I will show you a demo. So do stay back. Next. And we put a trigger area for the Iban man in order to know when the player enters the house and exits the house. Next. This is a table showing the Iban man's narration. So the Iban man will speak in the Iban language, which will be also displayed as subtitle at the bottom of the screen together with the English translation. So we have only a limited number of sentences. We hope in the future we can expand this. Next. Next, I would like to explain a bit about the kids' behavior. So we One of the things that you will notice when you go to the longhouses is that there will be a lot of kids in the longhouse. Yeah, so we try to add that in our longhouse. The kids mechanism was developed by one of our students also, Taking You, one of our game development students. For the kid, the vocabulary is more limited, more towards short words. So the kid also starts in an idle mode. And once, if the player is not near the kid, it will try to look for the player, seek the player. And once the player is near the kid, it will go back to idle. And it will, the kid will also explain objects to player when player looks at a registered object. So the mechanism is a bit different from the IBAN man. For the IBAN man, you need to shoot at an object in order for the IBAN man to speak. For the kid, you just need to look at a certain object for the kid to say something. All right, next. This is a table showing the kid's narration, some words that the kid will say. For example, manyao for cat, tungambak for ghost, and so on. Next. And for the cat, this is the state diagram explaining about the behavior of the cat. So the cat will start in sleep mode. The cat will be sleeping. After that, once the player is near the cat, it will wake up and meow. And after that, walks through a certain waypoint. And after it has walked through all the waypoints, it will go back to sleep. Next. And this is a screenshot of the cat's waypoints. The orange dots, as you can see on the veranda. The cat will be moving along those waypoints. Next. And lastly, the behavior of the fish. The cat's mechanism was developed by a student named Lo Jing Tao, also a game development student. And lastly, the fish behavior was developed by a student, Ming Hui. Yeah. So for the fish, we try to program it to be in a group, or we call it the schooling behavior of the fishes. On the left-hand side, you see a hierarchy of the game objects, and the one in blue is the main fish. So the main fish will be moving around randomly, and we have defined some follower spots. There are 5 follower spots in yellow color. The 5 yellow dots are the spots that the other fishes will follow. So fish number 1 to 4 at the bottom will move towards these spots. Next. I pass it back to Dr. Aloysius.
Okay, thanks, Ms. Lim. So, okay, just now you already can see what is the project is going on at this moment. Okay, so basically our project is already went through like few rounds in the, we go around to do all the presentation, and then this is one of the ideas that what we always go through, that we go for the local society. For example, we go for e-KLESF for a few years. Also, we go for the Malaysia Festival of Minds. Also, we try to showcase all the things to bring to try to bring a social awareness campaign. You know, like what the VR can do, what immersive technology can do. In immersive technology, you must remember, we have we are not only having a AR, VR, we have an AR, we also have MR, we also have like XR. So, but now we are focusing in VR. Okay. So we have to go around to let people see the VR itself is not only for games. No? It's not only for games. You got different type of usage. For example, like what we have now is that you can use this to do a lot of viewing, a lot of different things. And then now we need to let them see this is how important that we can use immersive technology for heritage and cultural preservation. And then this is some of my team's members that we go around, different function to do all our presentation, to show it to the public that what we have from our research center, especially from CITC Utah. So what we have been explore, and what is the latest exploration that we have, that we go around to e-KLESF. And then so we also try to do webinar with RUC, our sister college, try to share with them what we have from the researcher. Okay. And this is also, we also come to e-KLESF to share with you guys that what we have. Yeah. So the most important part is you must remember, a lot of people they ask, okay, after all this project, what next? What next? Like mostly a lot of people they will think that we involved in research like this. What is the outcome? What is the ROI? And now this is what I want to share with you. We can go around to show a lot of this, and then we also can get we also try and support some funding, then get the funding to support our project. Then we can try to grow, and then we also can try to educate our own student, whoever they are interested in research, and especially in this type of context, so we can bring them together, to explore together. And then we also go for not only locally, we also go for international society. So what we have been explored for years is, like you can see, 2016 we went to Korea to get awards for one of our project, which is about the VR traditional Malay house. So you can see this is what we already our outcome. We have already can see the fruit. We can harvest the fruit that starting from 2016 we already started. Now to that, this is also another sharing with the party from another group people, they are researcher and also industry player from Taiwan. In one of our project, collaborate with this Taipei Economic and also Culture Office, which is the title of redefining reality, conversion culture between VR or virtual reality and also augmented reality in creative media. Okay, there's a lot of sharing with these people that are from Taiwan, until we managed to try to invite one of the professor to become our examiner. Yeah. Okay, then after that session, also we went to we were invited to Luoyang, Henan in 2019. Okay, to become a keynote speaker to give a speech about immersive technology, especially for industrial design. This is for all the element what we have been created. So we also managed to share with the people from China. Everybody knows China now is very advanced in terms of the technology, but our technology also they appreciate. That's why they invited us to share with them what we have. And end of last year, this is one of our, for me, it's one of the very wonderful journey which have been made, and also become a research fellow, become a collaborator, become a supporter, and also like a collaborator for them for Asian COSTI program. So they invited us from this University of Computer Study Yangon for 2 weeks, also to share our experience, to build their own team, to build their own immersive technology team for heritage and cultural preservation. This is one of the sections which we share with the public. Okay, in our public lecture. Okay, so this is all the scene you can see. And then also this is the scene we went to the monastery and try to collaborate. We hope that we can collaboration with this monastery, one of the very important mahasiswa near Yangon. That we hope that we can have a collaboration in future with them, so that we can introduce immersive technology to them in terms of their heritage and cultural preservation. They are very, very serious about cultural preservation also. Okay, so this is one of the things which we try to be with them, with the student, give them some workshop about the panoramic, also about the drone system, because when you want to deliver this project, you need to have a temporary satellite. So I mean drone. So you need to see the area before you want to build the VE. Okay, so this is one of the scenes. You also can use the QR code to have a look at the video, how they had fun during that time. And then this is the group student which is in our workshop to try to train them to how to use all this cool technology like what we have in Malaysia. So our research center also go around to share the public awareness, also like share whatever we have, whatever knowledge we have, we reach out. Like for example, one of our core areas is we need to share about our knowledge, to transfer our knowledge to other group of members, which they know that they want to appreciate this type of technology. Yeah. Okay, so this is a public lecture we share with the public the postgrad student in UCSY in Yangon. So they also come to learn from us how we try to do all this immersive technology practice for heritage and cultural preservation. Yeah. And then we are in 21st October 2020, I also have a session with Xi'an Eurasia University to share with them about culture preservation by using a virtual reality technology. This is also one of the very good sharing platform for me and my team to share with the people from the other country. Even though in this pandemic we cannot travel, but we still can use the online platform to share our knowledge, to share our latest outcome. Yeah. Okay, so news. We appeared in different news, local news, our own internal news, also like whatever newspaper you can reach, like Star, okay, or like in Metro and Star. Okay, you can see whatever we have been go through. If you used to see this before, yeah. Okay, what is our next level? What is our next generation? What is our next generation for our project? We are trying to engage with this art scene. Okay, what is art scene? It's something to like, like pandemic, they cause a lot of problems. The people, they cannot go to exhibition, they cannot go to the gallery. So we hope we can introduce this type of practice to them. Maybe we can create a virtual gallery, or maybe it's a virtual showcase center or what, yeah. So this is one of our key area we want to venture in future, yeah. So to later on, please stay until like Ms. Lim will try to share a little bit the demo. You can see, okay. Just to summarize whatever we have, yeah. We hope by using immersive technology, the younger generation will get to experience something that would no longer be available to them. To appreciate the comfort and convenience they currently enjoy, and still have the chance to revisit what their parents or ancestors experienced before. So do you see that? With this type of project, you can see we can bring back the connectivity between 2 or 3 generations, or maybe more than 4 generations. So they can go to a virtual environment to have a look, okay, to have a look what their ancestors or what the parents used to experience before, And then, okay, one thing you need to understand, like that's why you can see is from research center, we have a framework, we have a lot of model. We are not only focusing in Iban Long House. You also can see we have Malay House, Well, we also have the New Village, So that type of model, we can, any community, if they got the interest, they want to know more, they want to know how to develop whatever we have, okay? They can approach us, and we can try to share with them the technology, also the knowledge we have. We have a program we call the knowledge transferring program. So you guys can try to communicate with our centers or me, or like for example, the e-KLESF or organizers that site. So see how we try to collaborate in future. Yeah. Okay. Now I would like to call upon Ms. Lim to do the demo to help you guys have a look at what we have. After about more than 40 minutes, we'll share with you. So what we have. So please, Ms. Lim.
Yes, thank you, Aloysius. So I'll share my screen here to show you a demo of Nasu. We developed this using the Unity game engine.
Selamat
Nasu
datang.
means hunting in Iban language. So we have to explore the environment, use your blue pipe to shoot hantu ngambak and squirrels. So the NPC that I mentioned to you earlier is the cat. If you go near it, it will wake up and start to move, meow. Much like what you see in longhouses. This is the kid. And where is the Iban man? That's the Iban man.
Nama pengawal
the
Y.
latest addition to our longhouse. There's still much improvement to be made, but currently this is what we have.
Nanti bisik hari, induk darah bau bak jitu, ngadu ngau puak.
So for some items, you can get explanation of it.
Tu gong, orang ngajak lempu.
So you can move around in the longhouse and look at some of the things here.
Tu baju kami. Kami ngangau ya baju burung. Selamat jalai.
Hope this will not lag too much. This is the last house, which is also a gallery for Aloysius' work. This is the Antung Ngambak. Shoot it down, you get one target down.
In
for the whole game,
USM Museum, University of Science Malaysia, where I pursued my PhD last time. Okay, this is one of my artwork. Okay, and then I like line up. I like the line art. Okay, line art. And then this is one of the warrior. Okay, like what I had been sharing. Okay, it's a little bit violent. You can see is because everybody know, if you are very familiar with Sarawak headhunter. These people actually, they are headhunter long before that, during early 18th century, started from early 18th century, and then you can see the.
In another room, we have some news articles for the visitor to read.
So this is what I mean by the virtual gallery, that we are trying, we want to focus in our future project that we want to involve in the art scene. So this is what I mean. So anybody from the art scene, maybe you guys can try to see any future collaboration.
This is a YouTube video done by Aloysius many years ago about Umang Sungai, river song.
Yeah, this is a Berenong with the people from Sarawak. Okay, now you can imagine we can do Berenong in the virtual environment also. Yeah. This project actually, I produced it for the film festival in Cairns, also like Venice. So used to be showcased in that two countries. Yeah, the video project.
Yeah. Would be the kitchen area. There are two squirrels being shot down.
Okay.
And that's a bit of sharing of the demo of the longhouse that we currently have. I'll stop sharing and back to you, Aloysius.
Thank you, Ms. Lim. Okay, now after the Ngasu demo, yeah. So now actually we already can proceed to our Q&A. Thanks for all your time that spent with us for more than 40 minutes. Okay, and then after the walkthrough, please feel free to share with us what is your thoughts. You anything you need us, please let us know. Yeah, thank you. Oh, yeah. What's going on? Yeah, okay, Miss Lee.
Yes, Dr.
Yeah, I think this is our mostly is our presentation done already. So now we opened up for a section, for Q&A section.
Yeah, if you guys have any question, please type at the chat box here. At this moment, no comment at Facebook. So if
okay, why the slide come out? Can you see my screen?
I see a black screen, a dark screen.
Black screen. Why?
Are you showing anything now?
Oh no, it's okay. It just come already. Yeah.
Okay, I can see you now.
Okay, so any question? Any members try to share anything?
There's a comment for you.
Huh? Oh, from G. Oh, Mr. G. Thank you, Mr. G. Mr. Lee, you mean Mr. G, isn't it?
Yep. Currently, no comment at Facebook. So, in case you want to leave your message after this webinar, you can leave your message at the Facebook live video comment too. Dr. Aloysius will go through it.
Yeah.
If you want to ask anything about Facebook. If you want to ask anything about VR, you can ask now also. Most of the participants would like to thanks both of you for sharing this interesting presentation.
Thank you. It's our honor to share with you guys whatever we have. Yeah.
From you.
Because of this project, we already developed since 2013 until now, and then it's already traveled for a few countries. So because of pandemic, then we need to hold back. That we need to stay in our own country. So that is. But thanks again for you, e-KLESF invited us to share our outcome to you all. So that I hope that thing can bring some ideas to you guys. That for sure, anybody that are very good in all these IBAN languages and IBAN cultures also can come to communicate with us, so that we hope that we can develop our own local content. Because I know there's I have been approached by a lot of people. Yeah, they always thought like they saw something related to VR. Okay, or this is the platform which I would like to share with a lot of members, that whoever is here, that please try to understand between online and VR, online and virtual platform. Virtual platform, like just now what we have been shared with you, that you can go inside to explore. Okay, like whatever we are doing now here is we are trying to do online meeting, online webinar, what we call webinar. Yeah. So this is one of our responsibility, to go around from our country until the other countries, to share with them how to use all this platform in the more proper way. Also, like you need to understand the entire concept. That's why we have a framework. We always share with people about the framework. By using the framework, we can try to, it's not duplicate, try to help other race, for example, Chinese or Malay or like different tribes in Sarawak. You know that Sarawak, there's a lot of tribes there. So we also can use that to help, because we already have the framework. The most important thing, what we the research center try to do is we have our own framework to develop something. So I mean to say, with the framework, we can do it for other cultures also. So that one we hope that in future there will be more collaboration with other parties. Yeah, yeah. Oh, mostly it's like, oh, thank you. Thanks for all those people. Yeah. Yeah, it's our honor. It's my honor also, like Miss Lim, honor to share with you guys. Yeah. Josephine. Okay. Josephine, thank you. Yeah. I hope I can do more for our own homeland. Yeah.
If we have a chance, we would like to invite Dr. Aloysius to do more event or more activity for KLESF in future.
Sure. Yeah, thanks MC. Yeah, if our times allow us, for sure we will share more with this KLESF, because we already sharing our knowledge since 2017 with KLESF.
Yes. So hope to have
Daniel.
activity.
Okay.
Okay.
Daniel. Okay. Yeah. Yes. More webinar. I'll try to discuss with KLESF, also like maybe other department in Utah, that we see how we try to run more webinar, because of now pandemic. So we hope we can share more online, yeah, especially a webinar. Thank you, Dana. Yeah. What else? Oh, because I'm reading the chat also here.
Okay, while we're waiting for more questions or comments from participants, so I just would like to know to tell that we have prepared a feedback form. So can you help us to fill up the form after the webinar, so we can know how to improve, and maybe what topic you would like to you would like Dr. Aloysius to conduct. So maybe you can let us know. Okay, anyone, do you have any comment? You can type in the chat box. Our participants are very proud, as now this webinar show such a great work by Dr. Aloysius about us, Malaysia.
Since we are still in this platform, okay, I would like to, from time to time, me and my team now, especially Ms. Lim, we are already communicate with our department from DCSPR in Utah. We hope that we can have articles published in our local news, because of already been so many years, our team always on the groundwork, and then now it's the time for us to documentize it so that we can share more in the article. So maybe next time, if you follow KLESF site or KLESF page, then maybe we'll post it there to let you know what is the newspaper we'll try to publish, and then we'll try to go there, and please try to follow up for us that from time to time we need to update you all that what is our progress, So we try to fully utilize whatever platform we have so that we can try to continue this type of job and also work. But we also welcome those people who want to collaborate with us. Please communicate with us. Yeah. Mr. Steven, thank you, Mr. Steven. Nageshwari, thank you. No worry, thank you. Thanks for your time. Yeah. Got anything is needed, you need me to share more, please let me know. Yeah.
Okay, if you have any question, you can leave it at a Facebook Live too. Our Facebook is Kuala Lumpur Engineering Science Fair, KLESF. There's a question.
Is this the first in Malaysia? Dr. Roy. Oh yeah. Okay, Dr. Roy, after the literature review, however, we have been referred visual review. I cannot say but for me, what I can understand until today, that this is the first in Malaysia that we seriously can walk through by using our own very own first MPC, which is with the Bunga Torong just now, and it's very happy that Ms. Lim managed to share with us because of the Ms. Lim team seriously worked out very hard for that particular project. We have the cat, we have the fish, we have the kids first, but the IBAN character, that is the very big challenge for the whole teams. But at last we managed to complete it, but seriously we need to polish out more. And then it's for me it's seriously the first that you can see that the characters speak in IBAN itself. Yeah. So that's what I can share now. Thank you, Dr. Roy. Thank you. Oh, okay. How is your technology different from others? Kabini, yeah, Kabini. The technology we have, the engine is you can reach everybody that involved in game development and game design. You know the engine that we call Unity. Okay. The only very different thing is the content. Like normally what people can do is they use the asset store thing. Yeah. But now we managed to come up with our own content. For example, the longhouse. The longhouse itself is purely from the scratch. Okay. And then the IBAN characters also is the first characters which they can speak in IBAN. And then we managed to overcome all the difficulty in the technical part. And then that's why we can say that it's very different in terms of the content, in terms of the content. And then the technology we are using, we are trying to use the most affordable technologies, which we don't want to use the very high, very expensive equipment to do it, because of the very important part is the content itself. The novelty for us want to claim actually is that particular content. Yeah. Oh, Ms. Lee, somebody asked about the attendance. Yeah. Thank you, Kavinia. Thank you.
For the attendance, we will use the attendance generated in Zoom. So if you have registered, then we will track your attendance with our registration list.
Any more questions?
Okay, while waiting whether they still have any comment, let me promote the next event. Next event will be held on 11:30 a.m. It's our virtual symposium on science education 2020. Short is SOSE 2020. So the title for 11:30 is Penyelidikan and Pembangunan R&D Produk Inovasi Shop Floor dalam Pembinaan Taman Sains yang menggunakan STEM dan Teknologi Hijau di SMK Sarjana Utama. Then we will have the SOSE also at 1 o'clock. Title is Amalan Terbaik PR Menyantuni Pembelajaran Era Revolusi Industri 4. Then 3 o'clock is another title, Green Box. So meaning the next 3 events today all are under SOSE. You may join us using the same link. Yes. Yeah, I guess that's all for the comment today. So appreciate if anyone everyone please don't leave us. We have a short session for the photography session. You may turn on your webcam. So let us have some screenshot. Okay, please turn on your camera. Okay, are you ready? We will have a few shot, don't worry. Okay, one moment. We are waiting for other to turn on. Okay, okay, one moment. Okay. Hi everyone, now I can see your face. Hi. Okay, are you ready? We have a few short line. Let's have the first one now. Smile. Again, okay. Okay, sorry, few more. Okay, smile, smile. Okay, okay, that's okay. We are done. That's all. Okay,
Thank you.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
everyone.
Thanks everyone. Thanks MC. Yeah, thanks everyone.
Thank you,
Have a
everyone,
nice
for
day.
being present.
Okay. So
Thank you, Mr. G. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Ma.
Stop it. Okay, so we will end this Zoom soon. If you would like to join the SOSE at 11:30, you please click the same link again to join. Okay, we will end this session first, then you may join at 11:30. Okay, so if you still have any question, you may leave your question at the Facebook Live video.